Hello, students. Today we are going to discuss the poem No Men Are Foreign, which is composed by James Kirkup. The poem is a strong plea for peaceful coexistence and universal brotherhood. God has made us all equal, and the color of our blood is the same. Human emotions are the same as well. Thus, people all over the world are brothers and sisters, and the man made barriers of class and creed are thus unnatural and undesirable. No Men Are Foreign is a thought provoking poem. It tells us that there is no difference between different people and the countries they live in. Therefore, wars and the bloodshed that takes place in the name of caste, class, creed, and country are futile and must be condemned. The uniforms worn by people in different parts of the world may be different, but the bodies beneath them are the same. The earth that one walks upon is the same for all the people from different countries. All will one day or the other die and return to earth finally. People in every part of the world get sunshine, air, and water in the equal measures. So they too prosper during peace, but have to suffer poverty and hunger during the war like us. They do the same jobs to earn their livelihood as we do. They are built just like us, and they also sleep or wake up in a manner similar to us. They too can be won over by love. Thus, human life is the same in every part of the world. We human beings have the same worries, same concerns. We become happy with harvests or during the festival times. They also become happy during the happy times or during the festival time. So we must also know that war brings destruction. Any part of the world, people are suffering because of war only. So we must remember that when we hate, betray, and condemn others or forcibly take away land and property from them, we actually harm ourselves only. Because in the long run, the oppressor also suffers. Our weapons of war make the earth dirty and spoil its atmosphere. War thus causes misery and destruction. In this way, the poem gives us the message of mutual and peaceful coexistence and warns us not to fight or hate others. About the poet James Kirkup, an English poet, translator, and travel writer. He wrote over 30 books, including autobiographies, novels, and plays. He became a fellow of the Royal Society of Literature in 1962. So let us just discuss the theme of the poem. The theme of the poem, No Men Are Foreign, is the oneness of mankind. Underneath the superficial differences of color, race, nationality, and faith, it presupposes that all human beings are brothers and sisters. Those who spread hatred and wage wars are criminals and deserve to be condemned. The poem also deals with the supremacy of love, accord, friendship among all the people in this world. So, the poem actually says that it is the strong force of love, accord, and friendship and amity among all the people that makes this world worth living. Hatred only spreads poison. Hatred only brings destruction. As far as the title of the poem is concerned, No Men Are Foreign is an apt title for the poem because it deals with the theme of universal brotherhood. Human beings all over the world have identical behavior, and the differences based on the man made concepts of caste, creed, barriers, etc., are unnatural. Every human being responds positively to love, hence, no human being is a foreigner or an outsider. So before we start with the stanzas of the poem, let me discuss with you the message of the poem. This poem is based on peace and gives a strong message to stop all wars and look upon humanity as a unified entity. The poet warns the rulers of all the countries that when they wage wars, they not only injure the interests of those whom they hate, but also injure themselves. They should know that peace brings prosperity and wars bring destruction. Hence, those who spread hatred and cause wars against their brothers and sisters in different parts of the world actually harm the cause of peaceful mutual coexistence. As far as tone is concerned, the tone of this poem is rather disparaging. Most of the poem is like a warning to the human race, telling them to change their ways. The poet knows that he must show his readers the ultimate effect of xenophobia. Xenophobia means when we are afraid of the strangers. So he wants the readers to know the ultimate effect of xenophobia is to make them realize. Actually, he wants to show to the readers and he wants to make the readers realize how badly xenophobia can affect them. Therefore, he does not hesitate to do so. So, starting with the first stanza, remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. The poem begins by asking us to constantly remind ourselves that no human being is strange or different. Beneath the superficial surface of our bodies, all human beings have hearts, minds, and souls. The same earth is present everywhere, and the people of all countries will be buried in the same earth one day. Okay? So, here the poet emphasizes the value of universal brotherhood. The poet draws our attention to the absence of any difference among the people of different countries. He asks us never to forget that people living in other countries are not strange or unfamiliar. Under their different types of clothes, all human beings are the same. All human bodies live and breathe in a similar manner. We are all brothers because we walk upon the same earth that we have divided into countries. Also, we all shall meet this same earth in the end, when we shall be buried in it after death. The second stanza, they too, aware of the sun, air, and water, are fed by peaceful harvest, by wars long winters stopped. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. So each and every land, like each and every human being, is nourished by sun and air and water. People may have adapted to different conditions and situations, but we are all one in the spirit. We are all able to sustain our lives during peace time and would starve to death if wars disrupt on earth. Moreover, they have hands like us and all do the same work. Thus, we are the same and the entire world is our home. So, in this poem, all the people of the world are nourished and nurtured equally by the elements of nature. What are the elements of nature? The sun, air, and water. Everyone is united by the sameness of spirit. Like us, the people in the other countries too enjoy the harvests in peaceful time and dread starvation. They're afraid of starvation caused by long drawn wars. If the wars continue for a long time, then people die of starvation. They too toil to earn the livelihood, and their destiny is similar to ours. Because everywhere we know that it is through hard work only we earn a living. It is not that in our country only we work hard to earn living. Elsewhere also the same is true. Without hard work, you are not going to earn your living. So everywhere we have to work hard. Remember that they have eyes that wake or sleep, and strength that can be won by love. In every land is common life that all can recognize and understand. We all wake up each new day with hope and then take rest. It is only love that can really keep humanity going. With love and looking at each human being with kindness, we can truly create a paradise like situation on earth. So, in this, the poet actually asks us to remember that the so called strange and foreign people experience sleep and wakefulness like us. Like us, they too can be won over by love and not by force. Their experiences of life are similar to that of ours. Hence, we all find something familiar in each other's life and identify with each other. So, let us remember whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other, it is the human earth that we defile. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. The poet then reminds us that by trying to hate and even exploit others and their lands, we will be betraying and condemning ourselves. The poet reminds us that taking arms against each other, that is war, is in fact futile. The poet ends with the refrain, no men are foreign and no country is strange. We need to constantly remember that we are all one in the spirit and encourage mutual respect, discussion, and dialogue for a truly human, just, and sustainable world in the future. So in this poem, in these lines, the poet says, whenever we are asked by our leaders or rulers to hate and exploit the people of other countries, we must remember that this hatred would have a negative effect on us. We would find ourselves cheated as it would deprive us of bliss of universal brotherhood. We would condemn ourselves to a life of enmity and strangeness. The poet reminds us that war is futile, it is meaningless, there is no use waging a war. It spoils the very earth for which we take up arms against each other. The deadly weapons emit fire and ashes that spread all over and pollute the environment. This robs the air of its purity, and the world becomes a more difficult place to live in. It is therefore important not to consider any human being as foreign and any country as strange. We must build mutual respect and trust. Right? So, this is the end of the poem. As far as rhyming scheme is concerned, the poem does not have any specific rhyming scheme. It is written in free words. As far as literary devices are concerned, which all literary devices have been used in this poem, I tell you one by one. Alliteration, yes, alliteration, which is a close repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of successive words. Initial alliteration and within words, internal alliteration. So examples are there. There are ample examples. A single body breathes. You can underline the letter here. The body breathes. B is repeated here. The B sound has been repeated at the beginning of body and breathes. And the other example is or sleep and strength. So S sound has been repeated at the beginning of sleep and strength. Metaphor is also used in this whole poem, a figure of speech in which a word or a phrase which is not linked directly is used to describe an object or action through comparison. So I would like to give you the examples. The line from the poem, beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Uniforms here basically stand for militaries that different countries in the world have. These uniforms may be different in color, design, shape, and culture, but people donning them are the same anywhere in the world. Then we have the line from the poem, War's long winters starved. Here, the starvation experienced during unproductive and harsh winters describes the want and hunger faced during the wartime. Both these conditions lead to ultimate destruction. And in the poem, repetition has been used. The poet often repeats single words or phrases, lines, and sometimes even whole stanzas at intervals to create a musical effect, to emphasize a point, to draw the reader's attention, or to lend unity to a piece. In No Manner Foreign, James Kirkup repeats the word remember 5 times in the poem to emphasize the serious message the poem has to convey. Similarly, the last line of the last stanza, remember, no man are foreign and no country is strange, though reversed, is the same as the first line of the first stanza, remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. This repetition emphasizes the core message of the oneness of mankind. Right, children? So, I end the poem with the very famous quote from Socrates, I am a citizen not of Athens or Greece, but of the world. So, this line has a very deep meaning. It says that we are not different, we are same people, same, even though some differences may be there, but they are quite unnecessary, they are quite superficial differences are there, right? So, with this beautiful thought, we end this poem explanation, and I'll come up with more video explanation on the poem, and I will also provide you the link in the description. Kindly go through it. Have a nice time. Thank you.